Hey everyone, Kane here, and in this one we're gonna talk about Reliquary, but most importantly the Reliquary Stele. So I had a couple of people keep asking me about it because the only one that I have made, I think they said, was a Rakan, which I had played probably more than half a year ago or so. So we might as well just check it again and see whether or not some changes that I made are pretty good. So the first page, do keep in mind that this is built for the people that I face majority of the time. So just to let you know, let me just show you the people that I face. So this is human, this is small units, this is majority of them small units. Trees are massive, so you can't really get a buff against them. Small units, small units, small units, small units, small units. Half of them small units, half of them small units. Like, you pretty much see what the kind of people I'm facing. So I've kind of built it for facing those particular people. So essentially, if you're facing different people or have different people in realm, it might be a bit different for you. So with that, for the first page resistances, I chose both magic resistance for army and heroes. So majority of my heroes do get deleted by the likes of Avril or Valerie or stuff like that. More magic resistance will always help because they do the most area type damage. Then I chose physical resistance for the dragon. I mean, the dragon is gonna take a lot of damage from the likes of Viria, or rather not Virian, goddamn, Rufio. And honestly, I would think that 25% physical damage resistance does something to make sure Rufio doesn't instantly one-bob the dragon. But then again, you're leaving it open for mages to do a bit more damage as well. In terms of the other buffs, you have a choice between crit rates and attack speed. Honestly, attack speed is a lot better in terms of events. And also, crit rate doesn't really bode well for the frontline units. And since I run a Lich formation filled with frontline units, for me it's better to just focus the attack speed regardless. And then of course magic for my mages and winning in stats. And then we have a buff small units. So this only affects small units like humans, Lich, all that kind of stuff. However, there is another thing in terms of here, damage dealt to large units. Now, large units, you have mechs, you have some, I think, archers, like I think those shrooms, Sylvanic Cavaliers, Crusaders of humans, all those kinds of armies, they are large. But at the same time, you have heroes that are also large. So you're always gonna face heroes and unlikely to face very much large units. So I do believe this would work against heroes, but for me, I think I still have quite a decent amount of damage to beat heroes. I don't think 15% would do incredibly, like, a lot for me, unless of course it has some sort of a hidden breakthrough and literally would just break all my mages or whatever. But this kind of helps me burst versus stall, and I pass them incredibly quickly, and people do notice that how the hell do I even pass them? And pretty much I built a lot of stuff to just quickly just blast through people's stall sides. So the second page, again, attack speed. Attack speed, I don't really focus crit rate. They get a lot of crit rate from many other features, and it's very, very heavily capped in, like, even on an army. So likely I would select this 21 and it would add like 5% or whatever. If they have like 70%, from 70 to 75, sure, it might seem like a lot or whatever, but honestly, I think 26% attack speed is a little bit better than that. And for the dragon, I have selected crit rate. The reason for that is because he doesn't do basic attacks anymore, so he doesn't need attack speed, and regardless of attack speed, the basic attacks do nothing, right? Because if you have Aura Blast and Arcane Blessing, he just does Aura Blast all the time. No cooldown, no basic attack, just Aura Blast all the friggin' time. And of course, crit rate probably gonna crit some of that damage, so why not add just a little bit more to that? Then we have either the crit hit damage resistance or the evade. I think evade is better than that. I don't think this is as useful in my own opinion, because I believe even damage from area can be evaded if you have some sort of a decent amount of evade chance. So I have selected this, and of course stamina, because I try to win in stamina as well, does help out in tanking quite a bit. Doesn't work against very specific builds of people, but honestly, even going towards 4500 ET, quite a lot of people don't even optimize their fields, and I kind of, I guess, benefit just from that. And then of course we have something: when a unit's health is above 70%, damage taken reduced by 25. This helps out a lot if you have the resistance build. And I do mean by that it reduces a decent amount of damage, and it's even better than this, which in 30 seconds would heal about 45%. I don't really think that this is good. I mean, people can really prove me wrong or stuff like that. Perhaps maybe on some very heal-based races like Sylvani, maybe Scorpions. But most others, I don't think I find very much reason to even use this. I tried it once on Skeletons and it was just garbage. And with this build that I have, the Earthen Shield is actually pretty friggin' powerful. Then, the third page, I select healing received instead of crit resistance or whatever. I mean, some heroes receive more healing and stay alive. Some heroes, by receiving that healing, pass that healing to the army, like a Balrog, like Varian that I have, like others. And essentially the army adds a lot more tankiness if they just keep healing and healing and healing. So this was my kind of choice as well, because they also have healing received. Then for Dragon, I took crit resistance. I don't think I have that many healing on Dragon. I have that one force set ability as well, but usually then like ends up dying rather quite quickly. So instead I just chose a more defensive one for the Dragon. Then again, attack speed for the army, and then stamina and command. And of course we get initiative. First 30 seconds, all units attack increase and damage taken is reduced. Majority of the battles are decided in 20 to 30 seconds, majority of them, especially if you're fighting similar core or lower in the duel tower. And if you just select this, you're basically just messing yourself over. I don't think that the matches last even more than 30 seconds. Majority in that 30 seconds, you either break through and pincer, or the enemy breaks through and pincers. The only time you can get stuck is like once or twice every 50-60 matches, and then this one would actually help out. But then do keep in mind that if you would select this, you lose the damage taken reduced 15%, which then they break through faster. So then it kind of removes that, position where you would actually kind of require this. So for me personally, I would go with this one all the friggin' time, just more powerful. And then we have a choice between crit damage or accuracy for the army. Again, I'm using frontline majority for my PvP, so I select accuracy for, of course, PvE content, right? I have a different set, and also the reliquary sets are different for every single race. So if I do PvE content like events, Nightfire, Kingdom Guardian, I always will have this one. For heroes, of course, you go crit damage, but again, do keep in mind that heroes are able to miss. Yes, heroes are still able to miss. You have that option taken off. Heroes can miss basic attack damage like Valerie. I'm not entirely sure if they can miss, or rather evade Blizzard procs, but I do know that they can miss basic attack heroes damage, even area damage from the basic attacks. So you might want to do some research and consider which one of them is better for you, and whether or not you have a decent amount of accuracy. And then dragons, I don't know how much accuracy they have, but I just go full blasting damage and all that kind of stuff, because why the hell not? And then of course you have a choice between evade or healing received. Healing received all the way, I think it's better because you have a lot of heroes, rather healers. If you have War Maker's main, Astronian Fari, all other bonuses, buffs, all that kind of stuff, just overall better in my own opinion. And then a choice between crit hit resistance again, yeah. And then decreases damage taken. Of course, damage taken all the way. I mean, we're doing the resistance build, which is incredibly tanky. And then we have a selection in terms of a fountain every 3 enemy abilities. So let's just assume it in a way as the enemy casts Raxius 3 times, or enemy casts Avril after that, and whatever, trying to break through your stall. And this will usually proc on your stall and heal quite a lot of skeletons as well, in terms of HP % damage. Now, I'm not entirely sure whether or not healing receive would affect it. I haven't really tested it, but I do believe when I build the resistance build, this actually started performing quite well, because they are having a lot of trouble bypassing my stall side. And if they keep casting and casting and casting, a lot more over-buffed stall side units will be getting healed. Now, I haven't really tested this with the resistance build yet, and I'm not sure if I ever will. And this says, after you use yourself an active skill 3 times, all friendly units on the battlefield have their damage taken reduced. It says all friendly units. That also means heroes, which could essentially help out, say, burst versus burst. However, my burst versus burst usually is considerably less in damage because I don't have high rogues. My gladiators are not really high as well in terms of research, all that kind of stuff. So regardless if I have this, I don't think that I'm able to more reliably win burst versus burst even with this. And I'm not sure how much this damage taken reduced would actually affect it, because I already have a lot of it. So I just instead refer to just this huge HP heal proc happening on my stall side multiple times whenever I usually face their burst. And that is what kind of makes the difference for me in being able to beat quite a few people. And then, of course, the last page that I currently am on, because I have a lot of frontline units and no ranged in terms of lich, you have to select attack and physical damage. For specific events, you also want physical damage for the army. For a few specific events, of course, you want for magic damage, but of course, again, every race has its own reliquary, so you can build it whatever way you want to. And then, of course, all the rest on the top side for the magic damage. So heroes, magic damage, dragon does magic damage, and army evade chance in comparison to crit hit damage resistance. I do believe missing some damage is a bit more valuable than just missing some crit damage, because even now you have a decent amount of enemy crit rate reduction. So essentially, a lot of that crit damage is, say, more avoided than not, and evade chance can just, avoid the entire damage proc in itself. At least in my own opinion, that's how I go about it. And personally, for me, it kind of is working out. And for you, you may have to do your own tests and see how it works out. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how I build for my own particular formation. Take it as you will. Take some tips as you will as well. Do keep in mind that every race might require a little bit of a different build regarding what units, what army, what heroes you're using, and what heroes you're even focusing, right? Because if you're not focusing mages, some decisions, of course, can be pretty much different. Anyways, that's pretty much it for the video. Do let me know in the comments down below whether or not you found this video useful and you kind of was waiting for it. Also, if you wish to support me more than just watching my videos, I have made a Patreon page where you would be able to do just that, and as well as I would be able to help you out on your account individually as well. Also, would like to thank my 2 Patreons, Scott and Near. Really appreciate it for the subscription. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care and stay safe out there.